G'day guys, welcome to Ali on Herbs with Ali Sanchez. I'm your host, Peter Montgomery from thepetermontgomeryshow.com. Ali is a traditional herbalist working out of her clinic in Glenbrook, which is in the Blue Mountains just outside of Sydney. And she's very passionate about educating the general public on the common herbs, the ones you have either in your garden or the ones that you can easily get from the shops right now. So what have you got for us this week, Ali?
Hi, Pete. Today what I thought I'd talk about is the herb chamomile. Chamomile is a beautiful, beautiful herb. When we use chamomile, we use the flowers, and these are actually dried flower tops that you can see there, and they smell absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. So that's the chamomile flower tops there. Now, when I did my training, I was very lucky to be taught by a world-renowned herbalist, Dorothy Hall. And one of the ways Dorothy would teach us as students was to teach herbs by things that she called the picture person, or almost like the personality type that was best suited for a herb. Now, with chamomile is best suited for those people that live their stresses twice. They're the sort of person that will go about their day, but as soon as they walk in the door of an evening, they start with, "You'd never believe the day I had." And then they will go on to proceed to tell you every little step of their day, the way the bus was late, the comment that the lady in the red dress made when they purchased their apples from the corner store, what the boss said, or anything like this. They're the sort of person that just needs to get it all off their chest verbally. And the wonderful thing about these people is you don't necessarily need to listen. You just, "Yes, honey, yes, sweetheart, okay." And this is the sort of person that when they walk in the door and when they're about to, offload on you, have your cup of chamomile tea ready for them, because it will work a treat. These people too are the sort of people they can't even eat until they've, expressed themselves. And you'll often see this trait in children. When your child goes home from school or from a friend's house or nan and pops or wherever, they burst through the door, "Mom, Mom, Mom," and they'll proceed to tell you what went on. So chamomile has been known traditionally as a children's herb.
What are some of the things that you can actually use chamomile for?
Well, like I said, chamomile is known as a children's herb. And the reason for this is it is a very gentle herb. Now, gentle doesn't mean that it should not be overlooked, because even though it is gentle, it has some very profound healing benefits. Now, chamomile works primarily on the nervous system, the digestive system, and it even helps the immune system. Now, when I was describing the type of person for chamomile, you can see how it relates to the nervous system. It's a very sedating herb, so it helps just to calm down the nervous system. So it's a wonderful tea to drink before bedtime, because it just helps to wind you down. It also works on the muscle system for spasms. So any spasms, from the esophagus right down to the anus, any sort of, tummy cramps, period pain, even colic in the little babies, just regular, when people are feeling just off and they might have a sore tummy, chamomile is the herb to serve. You can use in this way, particularly with children, again, it's the tea. Just using a tea with a bit of honey, and just let your little ones just to sip on that throughout the day, and it just helped to calm down that, nervous tummy.
Okay, Ali, so how many teas can people have? How many does it take in a day?
Okay, well, when we're using chamomile tea, a tea bag's roughly about a teaspoon of dried herbs. So you can use a teaspoon of dried herbs, a tea bag, or a tablespoon of the fresh flowers if you're lucky enough to have that. And chamomile tea, like I said, there's a gentleness to it. So if you're using it for a child who's got, a tummy bug, spasming, just sore tummy, well, you can make them up a cup of tea in the morning with a bit of honey, and they can drink that throughout the day. It's a very safe herb to use quite a few cups. So you can drink freely throughout the day, as long as it's bringing some relief to the little one, or even for an adult in that case with the same sort of thing, keep drinking it. For digestive problems, it's nice to have a cup of tea before you eat. So it prepares the stomach and the intestines and everything for digestion. And another way, actually, while I think of it, is the tea bags, because they have that anti-inflammatory properties, you can use the tea bags to help clean things like conjunctivitis. They're good for any sort of rash or inflammation. I used to use it for nappy rash with my little ones, just a mild nappy rash. I'd put about 4 or 5 tea bags in a couple of cups of water, and you leave it sit for about 10, 15 minutes, and I'd put that in one of those, those spray bottles. And so when you change your baby's nappy, you can just give it a few sprays, and that just helps to calm down the redness, when they're getting a bit irritated. You can also use the essential oil. The essential oil is lovely in a massage mix. It works beautifully on the muscles again. But it's a very versatile tea. It can be used for a lot of different things. So again, basically to answer your question, you can drink as much of the tea as you like.
Okay, Ali, so can you just give us a quick summary of what you talked about chamomile?
So just to summarise, chamomile is a very gentle yet very powerful herb. It works on the nervous system, it works on the digestive system, and it helps the immune system to fight any sort of inflammation. It can be used safely with children, a cup of tea with some honey, and just as safely used with grandpa and anyone in between. The only time I probably wouldn't use chamomile tea, particularly a strong chamomile tea, is in the morning, because it does have a sedative effect, and you don't want to be drinking your chamomile tea and then sort of dozing off at work. That's never a good idea. Peppermint is great for that, to spark you up in the morning. But yeah, chamomile, again, another beautiful, beautiful herb that is easy to grow in your own garden.
Okay, Ali, thanks so much. I look forward to catching up with you next week.
Thanks for having us, Pete, and I'll see you again next week.